Where have you guys been? Have you been to any viral hotspots? Have the RCMP checked you at all?
Okay.
Have the RCMP checked you at all for coronavirus? Sir, why do you think it's your right to come into this country? Keean Bexte for Rebel News here at Roxham Road. I'm here to document what's going on exactly. It's late at night here, as you can see, but the operation is still going on here at full capacity. The bus that I saw here last year now, over the summer, is still running. I guess I should have expected that. But I'm here today to figure out what they're doing in terms of screening for coronavirus. These people, these illegal immigrants who are coming into our country across this ditch that's behind me now, just behind my rental car there. The illegal immigrants that are coming here are coming from the United States, from New York City, which, as we know right now, has a huge amount, hundreds of cases of coronavirus. The governor of the state, who's a Democrat actually, has taken unprecedented steps to control the spread of this virus. And right now, the government of Canada and the RCMP are enabling a situation where people from the state of New York, who have come from other places, keep in mind, from the Middle East, from everywhere from Somalia to Iran. Frankly, the problem is we have no idea where they've been. Not that they should be in this country in the first place, but even more so now in a situation like this, they most certainly should not be coming through an unauthorized point of entry. Unfortunately, the RCMP are still enabling this and not arresting the illegal immigrants on the spot. I'm going to stand here as long as I can to figure out what's going on here, to ask the illegals as they get loaded onto this bus if they've been screened at all in this building that's been set up here by the RCMP, if the RCMP have any idea of what's going on in terms of any presence of the virus in these illegals. We'll have to see what happens. RCM Media. Yep. I was here.
I'd like you just to stand on the road, please. This is private property. Is your camera on?
Yes.
Can you turn it off, please?
No.
Okay. I'll ask you to just move your vehicle because this is private property.
Mm-hmm.
From the side of the side of the road to here, it's private property. So you'll have to go park your car on Fisher.
So the RCMP have told me to move my vehicle. It's parked right over here. They told me to go up the road about 1 kilometer. He lied, it's not 300 meters. And it's clear that they just wanted to get the illegals in and out of that door, out that door, and into that door without any questions being asked of them. That's why they wanted me to move my vehicle. They say the SQ, the Quebec authorities or whatever they call them, are going to come and give me a ticket. I'm not super concerned about that one. I'm going to stay here as long as it takes for me to ask these illegals some questions and maybe give them some hand sanitizer, since we have no idea where they have been outside of the fact that they came illegally into this country from the state of New York. Do you guys realize you're jeopardizing the health and safety of every Canadian by not screening these illegal immigrants for coronavirus? Do you even care?
Témoin un instant, je suis avec la police. Nous ne sommes pas l'immigration. Ceci n'est pas un port d'entrée légale. Vous travaillez ici, vous allez être mis en état d'arrestation. Est-ce que vous comprenez? Oui. Oui, bien sûr.
Are you going to check these illegals for coronavirus before you let them into our country? Where have you guys been? Where are you from? Not from New York. Where are you from?
Non, je suis congolais.
The Congo?
Ouais.
Have you been checked for the coronavirus? Where'd you get those designer bags? Huh? What do you think gives you the right to come into this country? Huh? You guys are going to make them carry their bags themselves before you check them, hey? Does it bother you what Justin Trudeau is making you do to this country? Does it bother you at all?
Why don't you shut the fuck up, man? Why are you harassing the people?
Why am I harassing people?
Why are you harassing
I'm not harassing anyone. I'm trying to figure out what this government is doing to make sure that no viral load comes in through illegal immigrants. Where have you guys been? Have you been to any viral hotspots? Have the RCMP checked you at all?
Okay.
Have the RCMP checked you at all for coronavirus? Sir, why do you think it's your right to come into this country? Have you checked them for... Take some hand sanitizer. Take some hand sanitizer. I also want to make another point that I found interesting. Candace Malcolm with True North broke this story showing that these illegal immigrants are actually getting 20-year gold-plated health care. That's more health care than any Canadian is getting, from dental to everything else. Better health care than you will ever get from the government. And these illegal immigrants, all they have to do is walk across that ditch and boom, they got it. At a point in time right now when healthcare systems are being overloaded around the world, most notably in Italy, and it could be very soon here in Ontario, and especially in British Columbia where the cases are quite high. Schools are being closed down, but you can bet that Justin Trudeau's illegal refugees are going to be cared for. They're going to have the best health care in this entire country, and there's nothing that you can do as a Canadian to stop it, because Justin Trudeau has decided on your behalf that this country doesn't really have any borders. I find it interesting. Inside of this shed here, you can see they actually have a world map on the wall. I have no idea what it's for. The RCMP clearly aren't using it, or else they'd see what a border looks like. I wonder if every illegal immigrant just comes in and sticks a little pin on the map just to show where their real home is at. Screening for coronavirus. All right, the bus is leaving and I'm going to follow it. So I'm at Roxham Road right now and I was just pulled over by the police. I came here to report on the situation, what's going on, to see if the RCMP are checking or screening for the Wuhan virus, or if they're just letting these illegals flow into this country unabated without any sort of medical checks. Turns out that's exactly what they're doing. And once I uncovered that, well, the police came to do their job, to interrogate and pull over. I don't know if they're going to arrest me yet. To interrogate everyday Canadians, a reporter nonetheless, who comes to expose what's going on here at this notorious intersection. These officers should... So the police allowed me to drive away, and as I did, they followed me and followed me and followed me until I got to the point where I pretended to turn right, signaled right, then they started signaling, and then I signaled left, and then drove away. This is the second time in Quebec, I'll have you know, that the police have followed me. Once it was in Montreal when I was covering the Trudeau debate, and now when I'm covering Trudeau's failed border crossing at Roxham Road. I find it disturbing that the police, they cared more about the fact that I was here in Canada, in Quebec, on Roxham Road. They cared more about the fact that I was from Alberta than they cared about these guys, these illegal immigrants coming from the Congo and from Somalia in the middle of a pandemic. What they cared about is that I was coming to expose them. That's all they cared about. And they gave me a ticket because of it. If you want to support our coverage, if you go to rebelnews.com/donate, that would be great. This rental car wasn't cheap. This ticket isn't going to be cheap. But I want to keep up with this coverage. I want to keep exposing Justin Trudeau and the RCMP for failing to protect Canadians during a pandemic. I think it's important because no other mainstream media outlet. No mainstream media outlet is doing anything like this. And I think it's important that Canadians see what is happening in their own country. For Rebel News, just off of Roxham Road now, I'm Keean Bexte. Thank you for supporting Rebel News. Please be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube, but also be sure to ring the bell at the bottom of this video on YouTube. Subscribing is not enough to stay up to date with the news as it happens. You got to ring that bell.